he stooped to a new low in terms of how he dealt with issues. For example, the immigration issue and what it has meant to our country and how he characterized it. The opioid epidemic, which is in every district in the country a challenge, in many families a tragedy, and the president treated it in such a disdainful way. Actually, it is one of the items on the agenda that we're fighting for, increased funding for opioids in the discussion that we're having on the caps, on the parity issue, on the budget. Last night, the president delivered a speech of unwarranted self-congratulatory comments, beautiful to acknowledge the courage, the sacrifice of the people in the audience, as if he had something to do with the successes that they had achieved. Of course, we all salute them. It's an interesting story. More importantly, it's about the fabric of America that his speech was not about. Again, devoid of vision. So sad. The president presents himself with this GOP tax scam as something to help the middle class. He kind of presented that. Well, at the same time, his tax scam will calls for 86 million middle-class families to pay more as he pads the pockets of the top 1%. The president presents himself as generous toward dreamers, but he's holding them hostage. I just remind you, and I've said this to his people, this is a first in a long time. President Reagan was great on immigration. He did more than Congress did after the Congress passed a bill. President George Herbert Walker Bush was great on immigration. The two of them protected a higher percentage of people than Barack Obama, President Obama did with his executive orders. With their executive orders, they protected a higher percent. President Clinton, of course, President Obama, President George W. Bush, one of the best presidents in advocating for immigrants and what immigration means to America, could not convince his own party. And now a president in complete departure of Republican presidents in modern times, Republican and Democrat, but you would expect the Democrats, Republican presidents in the lead, taking us down a road just red meat for his base. The president presents himself as a man of big ideas, and then he presents a lame, puny infrastructure proposal. Perhaps, meanwhile, President Trump is completely silent about Russia's ongoing assault on our democracy and his administration's outrageous refusal to impose sanctions. What's that about? What is that about? Overwhelmingly, was it, Steny, over 500 people voted for the sanctions bill, the sanctions against Russia, and the president is ignoring him. What do the Russians have on him politically, personally, financially, that he would ignore his responsibility in that regard? President Trump's first years in office has been a wasted opportunity in meeting the needs of the American people. Again, he had an opportunity for unity. We always are hopeful for that. Instead of a hand of friendship, as some have said, he presented a clenched fist. And a fish at that. We were very proud of our response. Congressman Joe